Do you realize that we have between 50,000 and 70,000 thoughts per day? Do you also realize that about 90% of those 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts are exactly the same as the thoughts we had the day before? It goes to reason that if we think the same things, that we're going to be doing the same things. Can't you see how we tend to be very habitual creatures? If we're thinking the same, then we're doing the same. Let me give you an example of that. I'd like you to think about your own life. When you get up in the morning, do you have the same morning routine? Do you drive to work the same way? When you come home from work, do you have the same type of routines? What about your nighttime ritual just before you go to bed? I bet when you start to think about it, you find also that you are very much of a habitual creature and you're doing the same things because you're thinking the same things. So that's why when we try to do something like, say, do a new diet or do a new exercise routine, it's different and it feels foreign to us. It doesn't feel like those 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts that we're thinking that are the same and that are repetitive. It feels very different to us. I really like Dr. Andrew Weil, and I read a book of his called 8 Weeks Till Optimal Health. And the 8 weeks is actually key because he had mentioned that he thought it took about 8 weeks to form a new habit. And if you think about that, it's because of the fact that when something feels foreign to you, you have to do it enough until it becomes part of your habit. I also know something, that knowledge does not equate to change in behavior. I know I should eat right. I know I should exercise. I have the knowledge. It doesn't mean that I will necessarily behave in the manner that I know is the right way to behave. Let me ask you something. If 10 really awesome things happened to you today and one bad, what are you thinking about right now? I bet you're thinking about the one bad. If that's what you said, most of us tend to do that. Most of us tend to go more towards the negative thoughts than the positive thoughts. So when we go towards negative thoughts, we have negative thinking, and remember, our thinking then affects our behavior. But if what we can do is we can program ourselves to say, no, I'm going to think about those 10 really awesome things that happened to me today, then I'm getting into a mode of being in more happy or more positive thoughts, which are more happy and positive actions. And then what can happen is we can have new neural pathways that help us with new positive actions. I'd like you to think about for the next 7 days, when you get up in the morning, I'd like you to really pay attention to your focus. Are you focusing on the 10 awesome things that happened to you today, or are you focusing on the one negative? Really pay attention to that. And then what you can do is you can retrain yourself to say, no, I'm going to be in the positive thoughts and the positive actions, not the negative thoughts and the negative actions. And then you can form those new neural pathways. Remember always that you are worthy, you are lovable, and you deserve goodness in your life.